The first principles are a set of teachings given by Christ and his apostles that really lay out for us what it means to be the church, how we're supposed to live, what we're supposed to look like.
A modern day set of teachings that are pulled straight from Scripture and says, here's what Christ taught us we're supposed to be, look like, and act like.
This series is really like a step-by-step walk you through process of being a Christian and really what it means to be the church.
It started out to be what I thought was simple and basic and got deep rather quickly.
For me, it was liberating to kind of start fresh, coming to it honestly and seeing what is it saying. Taking a time machine back to one of Paul's churches and hearing what they heard. So much he focused on was simply a way of life, how to get along with one another, what love looks like.
When you start building on the right foundation, you see things in proper perspective.
This is changing how I do life.
It's not like this check yes or no, or this is what you should do. It's like asking you, what is God speaking to you through this? What's your next step?
It truly does give the layout and the blueprint of the way we're supposed to live and how it's truly supposed to affect us.
It's not this ethereal thing that's intangible, some mystery that I'm like, oh, I hope to grasp one day. But it's very simple.
Knowledge is probably 20% of the package. The 80% is applying it and living our lives that way and representing him well.
It's hard work to kind of dig deep and say, how does this apply practically to my life? That being the singular goal of this material, it brings you into a place of transformation.
The most exciting part has been being able to wrestle through it myself, understand it myself, fully comprehend it, apply it to my life, and feel confident in that.
It becomes living word instead of just written word. You apply it to things you're going through at home, at work, with your finances, with your kids. It starts making such great sense all of a sudden.
It's done in a small group environment rather than a lecture base where a teacher is telling you what the truth is because he learned it once in a class from someone who learned it once in a class from someone who learned it once in a class.
We're doing the work individually, we're each getting our own perspective, hearing from God on it, and then coming together and discussing it as a group. Because of our experience, we can each bring our own context to the table, and it makes it for a really rich conversation.
It's also like invigorating and exciting because, wow, this is like my family. We're all going through this together.
It's not like you go to class and somebody's teaching the class. It's us as a group all learning together and kind of going through the scripture and figuring it out together and bouncing ideas off of one another.
It's everybody's input that really brings it to a whole nother level.
I don't change well, but I find I am changing pretty well, much more easily than I ever thought I would.
These classes have challenged me, been encouraging and life-changing in all aspects of my life.
We're not glorifying a tool, we're glorifying Jesus. But this tool has been like a magnifying glass that has looked at Scripture and made Jesus glorious in a whole new way.
At the end of each one of these sessions, I have the experience of, yes, that was great. I can't wait for the next one.
Actually going back and looking books back and being like, okay, I did do that. I did start applying it and seeing like the fruit of what we've applied.
We're growing closer as a result of it too.
It's a life-changing thing, it really is.